Hey everyone, welcome to Inside AutoMind. Today I've got a great guest, Mohammed, the CEO of Fulfill Plus. They're doing some amazing things in logistics and e-commerce fulfillment. Can't wait for you to hear his insights. Thank you for joining us, Mohammed.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dustin. Such a pleasure.
Just a little insight, guys. Fulfill Plus is based in Houston, Texas, and Fremont, California, helping brands source, pack, and ship orders nationwide and globally. I've been checking out their work, and they're more than just a warehouse. They're a partner that helps businesses scale without the headaches.
Yep, that's exactly what we do. Summarize it perfect.
So we're gonna get a little into you or you in the business. Today it's all about your business, what you guys have going on. But before we get into that, I would like to know the backstory. A little keynote I noticed was Fulfill Plus actually got its start back in 2002 when you guys started or helped. What was it? Dr. Pepper
Dr. Pepper,
with their
yeah,
logistics
yeah.
issues. So how did that come about, and like how did all that work out?
Well, I wasn't around. Obviously, I'm a little younger than that, so you can imagine. The gentleman who started this company, Chuck Gleason, a lot of props to him. He worked for a large printing company whose client was Dr. Pepper at the time, and they had a fulfillment center that this large corporation, which I'm not going to name, was wanting to get out of. And Chuck was actually one of the managers on the account, and they were like, "Okay, Chuck, we need you to take care of this problem." And he's sitting there searching out of the Dallas office, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle this? So talks to a buddy of his, they were working together, and says, why don't we just take over the entire operations in terms of the management and the fulfillment, because they had a lot of volume already. All they had to do is find an alternate space, find the people to do it. They already knew what went into it. Chuck came from a programming background. He was in an IT background, so he knew what kind of codes needed to be written. Mind you, this is 2002. Industries at a nascent stage. Nobody knows a lot about fulfillment. It was all traditionally done. I mean, we're talking about when Amazon was selling books, right? So then he gets to work. They get a warehouse out here in Houston. They move all the inventory here in Houston, and they get cracking. In 2018 come about, and I'm fourth generation into family business, and I wanted to kind of expand and do something different. Traditionally I had been in the real estate realm, development, hospitality. I got into food production, and I was like, you know what, it's time for me to do something different. Looked at the logistics space. I really liked the direction that it was going into. E-commerce was just booming. Not a lot of people were doing fulfillment, not a lot of 3PL companies that were doing what Fulfill Plus was doing at that point in time. And it worked out perfectly because, Fulfill Plus was in Houston, I was in Houston, Chuck wanted to get out, or he wanted to design an exit strategy for him to slowly phase out of operations and kind of semi-retire. So it worked out perfectly for all of us. And I walked into the building and we looked at the operations. We liked what we saw. Yeah, we acquired majority shares of the company, got into the operations. And then from there on, it's just been how do we grow? How do we bring in the best industry practices, because it was a mom and pop operation. I come from a very organized environment, a very corporatized environment. So I was like, how do I leverage my expertise and what the company is doing and build a perfect blend? So over the last 7 years, that's what we have been working hard on is processes, procedures, systems. We expanded to the West Coast. Now, hopefully in the next 45 days, we'll be in the East Coast as well, serving our clients. So yeah, it's been a fun ride so far.
No, it's quite a story. I didn't know you guys were launching that soon in the East Coast. That must be exciting.
Yeah, a lot of hard work, but we've seen that our a lot of e-commerce brands require short durations of delivery periods and also presence across the country. So we thought East Coast is somewhere that our presence is kind of missing. It's also a highly dense populated region of the country. So we said, why not? Let's look at that region, and we've been looking at it for the last year and a half more seriously. Where should we do it? And we've got a really good target area that we want to concentrate on. So hopefully in the next 45 days, you'll see some good news rolling from our PR team here.
No, you guys are like really strategically placed. I mean, you got East Coast, West Coast, and Central United States. That's perfect. Any
Absolutely.
any hints you want to drop of where you guys are gonna be in East Coast?
They got a great football team and really good weather. So that's all I can speak for now.
Okay,
I don't
okay.
want to put the cart before the horse at this point in time.
Yeah.
So once we're ready to share that information, we'll be more than happy to do so. You'll be amongst the first one to hear.
Oh, I appreciate that. All right. So speaking of that, you got facilities in both Texas and California, of course. Now you're going to be in the East Coast. So I'm assuming that was more of a strategic design kind of so you have like better coast to coast coverage, faster shipping times, stuff like that.
Absolutely. And also, we want to be able to be present on both the coasts. We want to take advantage of the imports from Europe as well as imports from Asia. We are in turbulent times at this point in time, but before we build our own production capabilities, we're going to require a lot of material that's going to need to come from both these coasts. So we wanted to be present, just take advantage of the scenario.
Yeah, totally. Seems like you guys been doing that great. So I noticed you guys have the fulfillment simplified tagline. So what does that mean to you? How does it play out in day-to-day operations?
Our goal really is if anybody walks into our facility or calls us or wants to partner with us, the headache of logistics should be taken off their plate. They should really be focusing. When I say they, I'm really focusing on my e-com sellers that should really be focusing on the marketing and growth of the company instead of the ops of how am I going to get this package from point A to point B. And that's why we exist. So that's why we say fulfillment simplified, because we're here to take care of all the back-end operations, whether it be integrations, whether it be processes and procedures, whether it be returns, whether it be rework. We are here to take care of it. With Amazon's announcement that in starting January 2026, they're going to move away from a lot of kitting and relabeling. That is another area that we're focusing is, hey guys, we exist to take care of these problems for you. So that's the true essence of fulfillment simplified.
No, that's great. That's definitely I noticed that on your website and your social media. That's something that a lot of I guess it's more unique and more tailored to the customer, which is a great approach, especially with Amazon kind of going away from that. Now that, there's a lot of people that can capitalize on that like yourselves.
Absolutely.
I think that attracts a lot of people. They like the whole unique part and you guys taking care of them through the whole process. That's a big thing.
Absolutely. And then working with us is also advantageous because not only do we support your Amazon venture, but also we show you, because we work with brands over the last 20 plus years, we've gathered so much information, so much expertise, and we show you how do you become scalable? What actions can you take as an e-commerce brand seller? Use this as your resource to help you scale your brand. And that's what we're really focused on because at the end of the day, we also realize that as our client, if you're going to scale up, you're going to have more needs and we're going to be here to support. So it's kind of like hand in hand situation.
Hmm. No, I totally get that. We're gonna switch gears a little bit, but so yeah, you guys coming off of that same thing, you guys handle everything from e-commerce to FBA alternatives to merch fulfillment. That's another cool one. Is there an area that's really grown a lot recently? Would you say it's probably the merch fulfillment or?
So merch fulfillment is something that we have really catered to really well for the last 7 years. But I think our e-com DTC segment is growing exponentially, especially because of the tariff situations and people wanting to set it within US and the de minimis going away shortly here. I'm getting a lot of calls from international brands wanting to set up their own facility or some kind of warehousing setup so they can serve their clients within the US. At the end of the day, we are the number one consumer market. So they need that. They need that. They can't just walk away from it.
No, that's big for you guys, especially networking
Absolutely.
and getting that done. That's for sure. That's a big step.
Absolutely. And one of the programs that we launched, when we rebranded was called Sell in the USA because we systematically wanted to target these international companies that were doing phenomenally well, had the potential to sell their product in the US, already work on integrated platforms, but just don't know who to approach to tap into this market. And with our experience, we become their consultants almost at almost a no cost to help them set up their facility with us, their operations with us, and take advantage of this beautiful market.
Yeah, and that's going to help you guys just expand and grow in the future also. So that's a win-win for everyone.
Absolutely, absolutely. That
Yeah, that's amazing.
was strategically planned. Yes.
Yeah, nice. I like the name of that campaign too when you guys relaunched. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
I think it was on your website. Your accuracy rate is listed at 99.99%. That's pretty big in this industry, actually, probably any industry. What's the secret to keeping operations that tight? I mean,
I mean, like I said, we've been in the industry for 20 plus years. There are a lot of 3PLs that popped up in the last 3, 4 years, especially after COVID. What they don't have, which we have an advantage over, is our quality control processes. Our team that has been trained, and I kid you not, I've got people that are in our facility that have been here for 10 plus years. They have seen all kinds of operations. I mean, anything under the sun we really have done. There's not a product that I can say that, oh, we were not able to handle. So that kind of expertise comes into play to keep those accuracy levels at that rate. At the end of the day, we're humans. We do make errors, but we minimize that. When a new client comes in, we ask them, hey, what are the pitfalls? We obviously, at that point in time, we don't know your product. We don't know how you operate, but tell us, what can we avoid to not fall into a situation where we have to keep compensating for your loss? It's compensation is one thing, but we are very particular and attentive when it comes to brand reputation. If I send a wrong product out, yes, I made an error. I will apologize to my customer. I will pay compensation for it. But the effect it has on that end consumer is not something that I can rectify as easily as I want to. So we're very cognizant of that fact. We train our employees for that. And at the end of the day, it boils down to having the right set of people in the right positions doing the right things.
well, perfectly said. And I mean, again, the way you guys tailor things and make it unique to the client, that's I think that's what's most attractive to a lot of people. Some of the
Absolutely. I
bigger
mean,
companies,
flexibility is such a big part of what we do. I mean, I recently heard that Flexport is walking away from clients that don't do business under $5,000. And when people call me and they're like, hey, we're a startup and, and that, and I truly believe in the power of small businesses. I truly believe in the power of idea. And that's why no business is a small business for us. They might be small today, but tomorrow they might explode and become something big. And we've seen that over the cycle of the last 20 plus years. And in my immediate cycle, the last 7 years of taking over this company, I have seen brands grow into independent operations, being bought out by PEs and VCs, etc. So, it's not new to me.
no, again, very well said because I mean, a lot of these companies that are big today, everybody has to start somewhere. So you never know. There's
Absolutely.
a lot of good opportunities out there.
Absolutely. That's
So
and
the
that's the beauty of our country, right? I mean, there's equal opportunity for everyone as long as you're ready to put your back into it.
Yeah. So that's, next thing it would be like, so you integrate with platforms like Shopify, Amazon, even I believe WooCommerce. How
Yes.
important is that for like the tech side of for your clients also?
Like, and this goes back to the questions you asked me, is fulfillment simplified? What does that mean? At the end of the day, we want our customers to be kind of hands off when it comes to technology. You integrate once and it's one and done. And that's our goal, to be able to assist them to integrate in a manner, to define their processes in a manner that they don't have to keep revisiting. There are not a lot of errors when it comes to those kind of integrations. So we work with them on SKU nomenclatures and setting up their shopping carts or their front end in a manner that the back end is smoothly worked out for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, sounds like you guys are a one-stop shop, everything from the beginning to the end and help them keep it running smoothly.
Absolutely, and that's the Fulfill Plus difference.
Hmm. I'm starting to learn that. I believe on Facebook, I did notice you guys share a lot of customer wins. Do you have like a favorite success story or when you really, I mean, I guess your favorite story of when you really helped a business scale or solve a big problem, just.
Well, a lot of my target customers are those that are doing it out of their garage, and now they're like, "Hey, I'm big enough. I can't handle it myself." And I've done that, and we've helped numerous of those businesses over the last 20 plus years. One of the stories that stand out to me is one of my clients. Mode Living, two young ladies dived into the world of e-commerce. Super expensive products, high-end tablecloths selling to Neiman Marcus, Sears at that time, Macy's, Nordstrom, and just not knowing how to handle that kind of growth. So they called us and they're like, hey, they were based out of Houston, and we're looking for a 3PL. How can you guys help us? We know nothing about labeling, we know nothing about retail, big box retailers and EDI requirements and stuff like that. So the first step was, all right, we're gonna send a box truck over with our guys. They're gonna pack up your entire garage. We're gonna bring it into our warehouse. We're gonna fix your SKUs. We're gonna help you set up your EDI. We integrated with all the different platforms they wanted us to work with. And ever since then, it's been such a great success story for us because they've grown from literally 2 racks to an entire climate controlled area, about 5,000 square feet. And even though they've become that big, they've wanted to stay with us because of consistent growth. And they've seen the power of working with 3PL. Obviously, it's not the cheapest option out there as compared to doing yourself, but it gives you your valuable time back, which you can reinvest in your business and grow your business rather than working in your business. And that's what we really focus on.
I think everybody needs to focus on that. Sorry, what was their name again? You said Mode.
Mode Living, yeah,
Okay, shout out to them. Sounds like they're doing great things. Thanks to you guys. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
absolutely.
Um, so I guess, to piggyback off of that, what's the most rewarding part about working with so many different types of brands? Since you guys kind of offer different things as far as startups and things like that. So, what is the most rewarding part to you about all of that kind of things?
For us, the most important part of our operations or our existence is to be able to be recognized by our client and to be able to be congratulated for the kind of work that we put in. A lot of stuff that we do is kind of hidden from our end consumers, right? From our customers' customer. So when we get good feedback, it makes us all tremendously proud that, hey, we're actually making a huge difference somewhere, even though we're kind of in the shadows. Recently, we got an email from a client saying that, hey, 0 errors in the last 1.5 year. Such a proud moment for us. They were running into some issues, and we worked with them and kind of fixed those things. And getting that kind of email and that kind of feedback really makes us feel that we're valued. And
No,
trust me, in the 3PL world, everything becomes the warehouse's fault. So when we see that kind of recognition, it makes us happy.
no, that's definitely amazing, and you can tell it really actually means something to them. They took the time to reach out.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a big deal. I was gonna touch a little bit on the East Coast expansion, but you kind of beat me to that. Is there any like last minute things or anything else you want to tell us about that? If not, we can leave it at that. But
Not at the moment, but we got a lot of exciting things in the pipelines. Just keep watching our space, keep following us. If you don't work with us, that's fine. Put us on your radar if you're looking to work with us. We have a great set of people that we're very proud of. They come in every day, and their life is this. I've got some of my great team leaders that love some of the brands and truly understand the essence of those brands and really want to see that brand grow. So they kind of take it under their wings and solve really, really challenging problems for our clients.
oh yeah, sounds like you have the right people with the right mindset on the team. That's great.
Absolutely.
I would say with so many changes coming in e-commerce, logistics, shipping costs, there's something like you were saying in the beginning, there's always things changing. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for your clients and yourself over the next, year or two?
Like you rightly said, automation is going to play a huge role of what we do in this industry. It is at a nascent stage at this point in time, and I have been following it very closely. And there are some plans to implement some form of automation. Yes, we cannot go totally 100% automated at this point in time, but the ideal world will look like a good blend of technology with human intervention. So I think that will be a big space to watch. That's going to have a lot of opportunities for 3PL owners like myself.
Yes. I think that could help a lot of businesses, especially small businesses, because like you said earlier, they can focus on growth and that aspect of the company more than the little monotonous like day-to-day tasks. That's definitely gonna free up a lot of time and help people streamline things.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to wrap things up. Mohammed, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Dustin. It's such a pleasure.